All right, let's turn it over to Martin Anderson Klutz, a senior solutions engineer at Acquia and a maintainer of a number of Drupal modules of his own, to tell us about this week's module of the week.
Thanks, John. Do you want your Drupal site to generate WebP images in the most optimal way? There are a number of modules for that, but today we're going to talk about WebP Fallback Image. It's a newer module that was created in June of 2022 by PE Drop. It has 1.0 and 1.1.0 versions available, both of which support Drupal 8, 9, and 10. It is actively maintained and has 3 open issues, 2 of which are bugs. The module is currently in use by 252 sites, according to Drupal.org, and the maintainer of the most recent release is DJ1999. Now, anyone using testing tools like Lighthouse will have seen suggestions to use modern image formats like WebP, and with good reason. They allow for much smaller image files at the same quality, which means a better user experience and less bandwidth used by both the server and the visitor. WebP is a natural choice because it enjoys over 95% browser support, but many sites still care about that other 5%. Drupal core added its own support for WebP in version 9.2, but without a fallback image, so browsers that don't have WebP support have been out of luck. Now, contrib modules have allowed for generating a WebP image and a JPEG fallback to allow for universal support. Typically, they have worked by creating the WebP variant from the output of a core image style, so after an image has been saved as something like a JPEG. That means the resulting WebP can't compress as well and can show visual compression artifacts. WebP fallback image is different because it allows Drupal core to generate the WebP image from the source file and then creates the JPEG fallback. It's also worth noting that this module only creates the JPEG fallback when it's requested, so it doesn't add to the storage of your website unless it's needed. So let's talk about WebP image fallback, or fallback image.
So this is the opposite of the WebP module, right? So this is generating. So is this when you're starting with a WebP image or something, or I don't.
Right. So I believe the way it works is in your image style, you basically set it to convert to WebP, and then this module will also generate the JPEG fallback image
From the original source JPEG, or like that. That's
a
the
good
piece that I'm
question.
missing.
I think the module's assuming you're uploading a WebP, is right? So like you would have a WebP image, or is that not?
I think that's what this is doing. I think it's doing the inverse, because most of the time you're uploading a PNG or a JPEG, right? And all the WebP suite of modules are set up to kind of generate the WebP from that. So then those modules, the fallback has already been uploaded.
So my understanding is this. So Drupal core, like even Drupal since 9.2, can take a JPEG or a PNG file, and in your image style, you can basically say convert that to a WebP. The downfall of that is that it won't have that fallback JPEG, and so all this is doing is saying use the WebP conversion in Drupal core, and then this module will also add that fallback as like a JPEG.
So it fixes the issue. I see. So it fixes it so you can actually use the core WebP generator.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So basically adds that extra layer where like, hey, I uploaded a PNG, convert it to WebP, and then if WebP can't be used, take that source PNG and apply the same rules to it so that it fits into whatever WebP was supposed to be in. I got you.
Yep.
Again, I don't understand why they don't just use the source image itself, unless the
source image might not have. So it's a link between, like, if you had the source image and you still needed to do some steps to resize that image, like you'd have to use another image style for that. This way you can use the same image style and get the two derivatives, also linking them together in the instance where WebP isn't supported.
Interesting. Yeah, it feels like a kind of niche, but it's also going to allow better, you can't really use this core WebP converter right now because it doesn't provide that. So it sounds like this kind of bridges that gap. So that's a useful utility module. I'll have to check it out. Interesting.
WebP. That's a very interesting extension. I'm sure it means something, but like, I don't know. Every time I see it, I'm just kind of like, little kid. WebP.
You can't say that and not find out what it actually means and say it.
I was looking for it. I think it's like web photo is what I would guess.
I was hoping one of you guys that was smarter than me knew what it meant and could chime in there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the origin of the name, but I do know it was a format that was originally sort of put forward by Google and sort of popularized. It was originally a format that was supported in Chrome, but not as much in sort of, Safari and iOS browsers. But in recent years, it's really gotten to be near universal support.
I've done a Google search, and it stands for Web Picture Format.
There you go.
So close, Andy.
All right, Martin, thank you again for a wonderful module of the week. And let's move on to our primary topic.